Okay, good morning. It's another beautiful Saturday, and my name is Caroline Owusu Asamoah. I'm so excited to be with you here. Well, last week we discussed something about social media. The previous week we looked into revelations, we looked into honor, we looked into so many topics. But today's topic we're going to be discussing is a gray area which people do not want to talk about often, especially our parents. But today we are doing a bit of career guidance and counseling. Maybe your father said he wanted you to be a doctor, your mother wanted you to be a seamstress, maybe your grandmother wanted you to be a baker, but you want to be a musician. Very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey is with me here in the studio, and today we are looking at the Pathfinder series, if I'm correct, and we're looking to our journey into our different and various career paths. And Reverend Tettey is with me here in the studio. We're going to look into his books, but today we are focusing on the arts and the business side of our career. So Reverend Tettey is with me here in the studio, and we are just going to kick into action. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, Caroline.
How has your week been?
Well, by God's grace, restful. Yes, everything went on as planned by God's grace.
Thank God. So you are a counselor, you are a pastor. What aside that you are, I suppose you're a grandfather, you're a father. But what are you doing now aside these things I've mentioned?
Well, I have retired just recently from the pastoral ministry in the Global Evangelical Church.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that I've laid off working as a pastor. Yeah, but I've been a tent minister because I was a lecturer, so I was teaching, and so I retired also from teaching, and I've also retired from the pastoral ministry. So I'm taking a bit of rest. I'll be doing some writing and other things.
We are resting on TV, I can see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have here the Pathfinders Educational Trust series, and there are about 16 books in all. But today we're going to be looking at the art and the business. Now let's look into your writing career. When did you start writing?
But this particular series, I started working on them in 2008.
Wow, that's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, it took about 4 years to complete this series, series of 16 career books. So, well, that is about this particular series. So we launched it in 2012.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I was inspired to write these or to publish these books because as a lecturer, I observed that a lot of students come to the university without knowing much about the programs they offer to do and what they would do after the programs, you know. And when you watch the way the students live and enter into the job market, many of them become frustrated because they are not happy with what they are doing.
Yeah.
Some of them, because they are not interested in what they studied, there is so much underperformance. So there is the need for education. We need to know about what we are studying. We need to know, first of all, about ourselves, what we are gifted in, what we study, and what we aim at doing, the careers we pursue in life.
Okay, in case you just tuned in, it's the book review show right here on Precious TV, and we're looking into careers today, journey through your career. And I have very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey. That's a long...
Well, sorry for the very reverend, but if we have been ahead of your church, especially my Presbyterian system, Global Evangelical Church, when you have retired as a moderator, they call you very reverend.
Oh,
That is
that's
why it is not only reverend but
it's
very reverend.
Okay, I get
I
it.
prefer to be called a pastor, but people who know you as having been in the leader would want you to be addressed properly.
Yes.
That is why. Other than that, just call me Pastor Edem.
Okay, now let's move into career guidance and counseling. What is career guidance and counseling, and what is it not?
Well, when we're talking about guidance and counseling, or career guidance and counseling, it's a process. See, it's a process of assisting people to, one, explore, to discover, to pursue, and to attain their career goals. That is what career counseling is about. And you can see there are 4 elements in what I'm talking about. These elements are, 1, you want to help the person to be aware of what he has, to gain self-awareness, the gifts in him or her, what she is made of. God endowed each of us specially. And if you don't know what your strength is, you will be operating on a weaker side of yourself and you may not be able to make it. Then the second element is connecting, people who are seeking counseling to resources that will inform them or make them knowledgeable about various careers. You know yourself first, then you are helped to understand the various careers that are there and what they are about. Then you engage the people to make a decision.
But you don't make the decision for them.
No.
You just encourage them to make the right decision.
Exactly. When they know what their strengths are and when they know what they are capable of doing or what path is more probable for them, then you engage them to make the right decision based upon what they have discovered about themselves and what they have discovered about the careers which interest them. Then the 4th thing is to help them manage their career path. You help them, 1, to be aware of what they are or who they are. You connect them to the resources. You engage them in the decision-making process, and then they manage the path which they have chosen. Yeah.
Okay, so in case you just tuned in, it's the Book Review Show right here on Precious TV, and I have very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey with me here in the studio, and we are looking at your journey through the various careers that we have, not just in this country, but in our lives. There are different career paths that we are all trying to go into, but that's why very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey is with us, and we're looking at what career guidance and counseling is and what it is not. So we are looking at the 4, we found out that it takes 4 steps. Yeah, and it's not just about coming to you, oh, what are you good at? Okay, you are good at music, then go and be a musician. You are good at caring for people, then be a nurse.
No.
But you have to find out what the person is good at, the strengths, the weaknesses, and put them all together in order to...
And also to educate them about, if we talk about nursing, there is a lot you have to learn about nursing. Whatever career path you choose, you need to know about it. And that is one area that is lacking. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at the various categories of the careers that we have, the main categories, and what it takes for one to go into either of them.
Well, before we do that, can I just talk a little bit about the Pathfinders Educational Trust,
Okay.
which is producing these resources. See, we are a Christian NGO. We are engaged in giving, specialized counseling to students, to parents, and to institutions. And we do spiritual guidance, we do academic guidance, we do career or vocational guidance, and we do educational guidance, and we also guide parents and help schools to set up counseling units. Now, coming from this background, we have decided that, look, we need to focus on some 16 areas, interest areas which are there. These areas are very important because people get interested in something and they are so mad about it. And, when they don't find themselves in that area, they are not happy.
They're not happy.
One is agric and natural resources. Somebody is in love with nature. He loves farming. He loves to see trees grow. That is one area. We have architecture and building construction. That is another area, very broad. We have art and communication.
That's my field.
That's your field, yes, that's your field. I'm also in that
that's
field.
your field as well.
Art and communication.
Today it's all about the arts.
Yeah. And then business administration. Then we have education and training. We say teaching. People love to teach. In fact, when they teach, people understand.
Yeah.
Their students do very well. They are gifted in that. Then we have finance and insurance. There are people who want to be in government and public administration. They love it.
Yeah.
And they think of, the whole nation. People want to be in health science. People want to be in hospitality, tourism, and recreation. That is how they have been wired, making people comfortable when they travel to other places. Then we have human service. Human service, we are talking about people who are concerned about the well-being of people, counseling them, helping them to connect back to God, pastoral service and all that. These are all, we come under
the
human service. Then we have information technology. We have law enforcement and public safety. Then we have manufacturing, technical and vocational skills. And we have retail and wholesale. Then we have science, engineering, and mathematics. And then we have, lastly, we have transportation, distribution, and logistics. I've mentioned 16 areas. You realize that courses which are being offered at our tertiary institutions fall under these 16 areas. But these 16 areas also, as they are areas that interest people, there are many careers under them. And because we are ignorant about these careers, we only think of being a doctor, being an architect, a lawyer.
That's it.
That's it. But there's so more. Within these 16 areas, we have come up with 299 careers, which you can read about in this pack. Yes.
So all the 16 are in this pack right here. You can see 16 of them. Wow, that's very good. So you can get it for your church. You can get it for your school. You can get it. Okay, we'll go into the price later. Yeah. That's before we get out of here. Yeah. But I know it's affordable, very affordable. So don't worry about it at all.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've seen the various parts And so there are 200, and you were able to put them into 299 sub categories. But let's look at the arts and businesses. Now, you've mentioned a lot. You've mentioned retail and wholesale, art and communication, teaching and education, government and public administration, hospitality, tourism and creation, human service, and I mean the list goes on and on. But what do I need to get into this field? Do I just have to be good at math? Do I only need to be good at talking to be a public speaker? Do I only have to read a lot? What goes into this? Is it just about my talent, or something is behind it? Because I remember before I met you on set, we did a little bit about personality.
Yes, that's very important. What we do when you come to us, first of all, is we will take you through personality discovery. Okay. You do some tests over here where you answer questions. They're not for they're not exams to be. You score yourself, and at the end of the day, you would discover your strength. This is based on Romans chapter 12, verse 6 to 8. We have 7 motivational gifts. So when you discover, for example, we have the gift of perception, the gift of service, the gift of teaching, with the gift of exhortation, the gift of giving, the gift of administration, the gift of compassion. Now, one of these is dominant in your life. So when you discover it, the next thing we do is we help you to discover the career that suits you based upon your interest area. This 16 interest area, if you are into agric, you love agric. Now, and your gift is giving.
How do you merge the two?
Yes, your gift is giving. Now, there is this book will help you.
Okay, can I project it? So that's the gift of giving. That's the gift of giving.
Then your interest is in agric, right?
Yes.
Your interest is in agric. So we have come up with all the careers that are under agric and natural resources that suit people with the gift of giving. Some are very highly possible, some are very possible, and some are, possible.
Possible, so highly.
We have a farmer, which is highly possible, a miner, which is highly possible. You can be a botanist, which is very possible. You can be a fisherman, which is very possible. A forest ranger, which is very possible. A meteorologist, which is very possible. A conservationist, which is possible. You can also be a geographer, which is also possible. You see, so this gift that you have, you can explore your interest area and know the careers which are suited for you. Careers which are suited for you. Now, so when you have found out the career which is suited for you, the next thing is to read about the career. That is where you come to this place. So you have mentioned agric and natural. That is more of science, which we'll deal with again. But let's assume that you are interested in business.
Yes.
As a giver, you see, as somebody with the gift of giving, you are interested in business administration.
Yeah.
So business administration has a number of careers, and let's say you have chosen that, well, I want to be a sales executive. Now, who is a sales executive? This book describes a sales executive as a trained person who sells a company's goods and services. They are in charge of sales and distribution activities that include advertising and promotion. Their main focus is to increase profits, and they rely on customers in order to achieve this. They ensure that customers are satisfied with their products and services and also attend to their complaints. Sales executives represent their companies at trade exhibitions and events. They negotiate prices, costs, delivery on behalf of their companies. Their work involves researching into customers' wants. So, with that, you ask yourself, is that what I want to do? Now, there are other, careers in this book.
Yeah.
Not only sales executive.
Yeah.
You may want to be a recruitment consultant. Again, you read about that, and this book tells you also about the skills and abilities that are required.
Okay.
They are not the same. They are all very different. So as you read, you are finding out, what you have, and you are comparing it with this. What ability is in you, and you are comparing it with what skills are required by this particular career.
Okay, Reverend, before we move on, what is the role of the counselor here, or the parent? Because and at what stage should you start specializing into? Because let's say the person has a desire for the businesses, the business field. How are you able to tell, or at what stage are you able to tell that this person is either supposed to be a general manager, a sales executive, a management consultant, a retail manager? How do you give that concept?
See, the whole thing starts from JHS.
JHS.
You see, after JHS, we have options at SHS to pursue.
Yeah.
We have the arts, we have business, we have science, we have visual art, we have technical subjects, and home economics. So if your interest is not determined at this stage, let's say, for example, you are supposed to be in the businesses, and you say because everybody is doing science, you, the parent, you ask your child to go and do science. Meanwhile, business is what is for him or her. You see, or you ask the person to go and do home economics. Now, if the person misses the path after JHS, it will be very, very difficult for the person. So we have a big, big issue in this nation, guiding our children to pursue the right programs at SHS. Unfortunately, our senior high schools are supposed to be offering, all the shades. You see, we must have senior high schools in various districts who offer not only general arts and science, but technical, vocational, and business, pathways, so that the child from JHS will go straight into what his or her interest is. And as he or she continues to study that at senior high school, it will not be difficult when he enters or she enters the tertiary institution to pursue more about that.
So let's look at, should I call it intelligence quotient or IQ? Yeah, so now when it comes to the intelligence, being smart, someone is so good at math, so good at the English language, maybe academically, when it comes to the academic work, the person is very good. And then there's someone who isn't so much interested in that. How should the parents guide such a person? Maybe the person wants to deal more with people into art, business. But when the parents looks at the math and the math, he realizes that no, maybe Adjoa is not too good. So let me take Adjoa to another field which maybe she may be good at? What's your advice for such a situation?
Well, it is important that this is where parents also need to be equipped to be able to give the right guidance to their children. And as a pastor, I feel churches must have programs where parents are being helped and equipped to be able to guide their children better. And that is why Pathfinders Educational Trust is there.
Yeah.
If a church invites us, we can talk to parents and help them to guide them. Now, when you observe certain traits in your children, by all means discuss it with a teacher, discuss it with counselors, guidance counselors, so that as the child progresses, you will know the direction he should. Some are slow in picking up things.
Yeah.
And especially the teachers who also teach them. Somebody would dislike maths because of the way the teacher approaches teaching it. That is why parents must also be interested in getting teachers who would give their children some home, tuition from time to time to help them. At least the maths and the English, are very important. We need to get our children to know that in life you must be able to add things. you must be able to communicate and read. Reading, and expressing yourself, very, very important in whatever you do. So parents have this job to observe the children, guide them, be interested in what they like, not what you want them to be.
Because now moving to that, parents are obsessed because I couldn't become a judge, or my dad was a doctor and I wanted to become a doctor. Because I couldn't become a doctor, my child has to be a doctor. Or in our family, we are all lawyers. In our family, we are all judges. In our family, we are all doctors. So Kojo, Ekuya, Ajovi must become a doctor because in our family we are doctors, and that is the way to go. That's what fetches money. What do you say to this? Because it's happening, and it happens all the time.
You see, when it happens this way, we are destroying the future of the children. There was this case of a child who's I met her in the university. She was interested in science. She wanted to do science. But the mother said, no, your 3 brothers have read science. Let's have at least one person who has done us.
Oh.
And so here she was doing publishing studies, and she was not happy. You see, in the end, she has been frustrated. She could have been a brilliant scientist solving science problems elsewhere.
Yeah.
But for what the parents insisted on. You see, so the plight of many unemployed people can be contributed to sometimes to parental,
highly.
what the parents force them to do.
Yes.
You see, God has wired us in such a way that if I go by what He has sent me to this earth to do, I'll be successful.
Yeah.
As a plumber, I'll be sought for, even not only in Ghana, but in other countries. You'll be surprised that I'm doing plumbing, but, I'm so good at it and the way I solve problems, I'm wanted, in Nigeria, I'm wanted in South Africa, all over, is because I'm in my area. And you'll be proud of such a child who is needed elsewhere. But we want to have them a doctor, a lawyer, bringing money.
Yeah.
That is not it. There is money everywhere. Even in carrying load, there is money.
Some parents watching are like, no. Reverend, what you are saying, the money is not everywhere. It's not everywhere because they see you see the doctor goes to sit, they look at his salary, he's getting about maybe 5-figure salary or even 4-figure salary. And then let's say someone who is into painting is getting maybe every painting job he's getting 10 CDs or something like that. So it seems people look down on certain professions. So even when the kids or the children want to go into that, they feel, they've told me if all plumbers end up this way. I know this plumber, this painter that comes to our house, he's this security guard in our house is this and that. So they see that they are surrounded by what society has become, and they feel, what I have is not good, so I have to go into something else.
Well, it's unfortunate that is how we look at it. You see, I know a lady, a graduate, who is into business, in fact, into sales and wholesaling. She talked to a friend at Makola, and this is what the friend said. Look, we, dear, we are not educated, but we are able to travel all over the world and do business. With your education, you can do better than us. With your education, you can do better than us. If the person is educated from SHS to from JHS to SHS to tertiary, he will come out as a better plumber. A more refined plumber who will be able to solve plumbing problems.
Reverend, please hold the fort. Well, in case you just tune in, it's the Book Review Show right here on Precious TV, and I have very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey with me here in the studio. We are looking into career guidance and counseling. We'll be right back. We're going for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so you're welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. It's the Book Review Show right here on Precious TV. And we are looking into career guidance and counseling. And I have very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey with me. I've been told I've been mispronouncing the name, so it's Tettey. But before we went on the break, we were looking at how education can refine what someone already has into the plumbing. So you were saying that the market women were telling the educated person that with all we have, even without our formal education, we've been able to travel around, and you have education, so you are supposed to do better than we are doing.
Yes, that is the truth. That is the truth. Education prepares you, to refine, your skills and the way you present your interest area, your career to people will make them love it. Whatever it is. The reason why I'm saying there is money everywhere, whether you are painting or whatever, you do it in such a way that everybody will be looking for you. If that is your area. I know some painters, when they paint, you'll just love it. And everybody says, look, I want this person. You see, there is a way he does it. You know that is his field.
Yeah, that's his field.
When he's doing it, he's happy and he does it very well. You see, with a little bit more education, he will know how to sell himself.
Yeah.
And he will get a lot of money. You see, the Bible warns us that if we are very much obsessed with people who are, rich quick, getting rich quick with a lot of money, with a lot of things, we'll be swayed off. The blessing of God over time will make you a great person. And mind you, the blessing God puts on you today will not be for you alone. Your children and your grandchildren will benefit from it. Sometimes we want everything at once.
Yes.
That is wrong. It's one step at a time.
At a time.
Our attitude to life must change. You see,
But, Reverend, yes, the money, everything gives
money
money.
answers
All
things.
things. That's
Yeah.
what yeah people say.
The
But
Bible says it, yes.
yes, but I mean, you've started something, and then you see Kojo, Ajovi is also doing the same thing. Kojo is doing maybe quite similar. They started the same, and I have to eat. That's what people. I have to eat. So, in that period or that waiting period, and nothing is coming, can I shift, or can I branch into something else that will give me quick money while I'm waiting for maybe my business? Can I branch into doing a radio program that will give me maybe 1,000 CDs per 30 minutes? And then now, because my business is not working, so I have to find something else. And that's what happened.
Well, I believe that if your business is what you have been called to do, it will work for you. But I would allow for, people who are multi-talented, you may be able to do one or two things very well. So you can add the other one. You must be able to be hardworking. Your day must be well filled with activities so that you can bring in as much as possible and employ people. See, we are afraid that the competition, pushes us out of the market.
Yes.
But don't worry about people copying you. The way you do yours will be so different that in spite of the fact that there are multiple of people providing the same services, yours will be different. Yours will be, once you are called into that area, God will distinguish you. And you will be surprised. There are many people around you, but it's yours that they want. You see, when we are getting competition in certain areas, that is the challenge for us to improve upon the services of what we offer and how we offer it. You see, maybe you are just at a place offering the service and people are around you doing the same thing. Maybe it's time for you to take the service to the people. And
rather than just being there
at one place. You see, when you have gone to school, your mind is prepared to think outside the box.
But now people say that education is rather making people think inside the box, not outside the box. Because if I've gone to this school, I'm doing this. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how it's done. So I come out, that's it. And if I don't get a job, if I don't get someone to employ me into doing that, then I'm left hanging.
Let me go to the Bible.
Okay,
In the book of Luke, Jesus spoke about the prodigal son. Yes. There is a lot to learn about that. The guy went and messed up.
Yes, big time.
And he became poor. The turning point was when he came into himself. He sat down and reasoned. He thought, is this where I should be? Should I be eating food, made for pigs? He remembered that in his father's house, even the servants ate and there was leftovers.
Yeah.
So he must go back. You see, when we sit down and think, when we sit down and reason, when we read round, the internet is there to find out a lot. Many of us don't want to search, don't want to read. How are people making it? If you glue yourself to only one way of doing things, you'll never be able to make it. You remain poor. The world is challenging us. The things that are happening around
it's a lot of advancement.
You see, so we must sit down, think. And you see, the God we serve is a God of revelation. He gives us dreams. As you think, as you pray, as you think, as you pray, you'll be surprised. One day you sleep or you have a vision, God will give you a product. Yesterday I was talking to a co-worker, and he is very good at electricals. I bought some, how do you call that?
Cables?
No, this electrical, electrical unit where you plug in the sockets.
Okay.
Multiple sockets.
Okay. Okay.
He's been making some locally. And
Wow.
what he does is very good.
He does it himself?
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't import?
No, he does it himself.
Oh.
And the way he assembles it is able to take, things with very high current. You see, and he told me that he got the idea from a dream. He dreamt about it.
Wow.
And anytime he does it, people buy it. And I was telling him, maybe that is the way you can make money, but we are looking elsewhere. You see, let us learn to pray about our challenges. Let us go to God. God will show us the way. If you are in your area and you know that that is what God has given you, there is no way you won't succeed. You must make it. You must be a problem solver. You see, the world is looking for people who will solve problems for them. Yeah. And they are ready to pay for it. Let's not think about, even what we should be eating today alone. Let's go hungry for today so that tomorrow will be better for us. We must look at life in a way, aim at employing yourself and employing others. Giving work to yourself and giving work to others. Some people right now, they're only thinking about somebody to employ them.
Yeah.
That is why
that's what we are facing. That's the situation in the country right now.
If you are somebody who wants to be an employer of other people, very soon you solve problems of other people. That's how I think of it.
In case you just tune in, it's the Book Review Show right here on Precious TV, and we're doing some guidance and counseling specifically into our careers. And we've looked at business, financial, finance and insurance. I just want to show the books to you. This a journey through careers in finance and insurance. We have government and public administration. We have retail and wholesale services, art and communication, that's my field, business administration. We'll do this architecture, building and construction, but we'll do that next week. There's teaching and education, that's Daddy's field as well. Hospitality, tourism and recreation, human service, pastors and that, then law enforcement and public safety. Now, Reverend Tettey, not Tettey. let's look into what is it? I just want to law enforcement and public safety.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about law, many people, the first thing that comes into their mind is a lawyer, a judge, a policeman. That's that. But you spelt out some other things.
Yes.
And a forester. Someone knows that law is all about being a lawyer, being a judge. But a forester, he said a forester performs, that's on page 53. A forester performs duties related to the protection and improvement of forest lands, supervises fire and insect control activities and designs reforestation projects for lands damaged by fire, pests, and industrial uses. The forester supervises the planting of ground cover to prevent soil erosion, determines what trees should be harvested, and also direct the removal of disease. Well, I honestly, if I had not read this book, I didn't know a forester did all this. I thought when it comes to law enforcement and public safety, it's I mean, it's all about the lawyer, the judge.
Yeah, when
So
you
what do I need to become a forester? Because I thought this one had to do with agric, or it has nothing to do with it.
well, some are interrelated.
Okay.
Education and training requirements of a forester. A forester is an academically qualified graduate of a college or university earning degrees in forestry, forest ecology, forest management, and other related natural resource sciences. Otherwise qualified, certified, or licensed to practice professional forestry. In Ghana, there is a forestry institution in Sunyani in Brong-Ahafo region. Other universities in the country run forestry programs. You see, we are talking about environmental protection, how we are destroying our forests and all the rest. See, there are programs. If God has created, you see, this our God is marvelous. He creates people, and they are so much interested in certain areas. There will be people who, when they see nature, they don't want it to destroy it. There are people who will go and cut down forests and do things there to get money. But there are people who know the value of forests and how these things need to be protected. So when we are talking about law enforcement and public safety, our safety also rests on the on the environment.
Okay, so to cut you. So when we say law enforcement, then that means I can be doing business and I can enforce the law in the business field. If I'm into the arts, I can enforce the law in the arts field. If I'm into the sciences, I can enforce the law in the sciences. Or can you? I'm trying to link them.
Yeah, when we talk about law enforcement in Ghana, for example, let me mention the professions which are into law enforcement. Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana Army, Air Force, and Navy, Ghana Police Service. In the police service, we have the band administration, motor traffic, criminal investigation, health, police, domestic violence, narcotic, buffalo, striking force, dispatchers, and mounted squadron police. Then we have the National Fire Service. Then we have the prison service. Then we have immigration service. Then we have the foresters. Then we have the security guard. You know, these are all under, public safety. You see, and when we talk of law enforcement, the judge, the magistrate, the lawyer, and the court clerk, these are all professions in this area. And, this area is not only the arts. The science also weighs it, because we need a lot of scientists in the Ghana Army and even in the police service and some other areas. So it is important that if your interest is in law, not that you are being forced to go and do law, your interest is in law enforcement. You want things to be done right. You want, to defend the cause of the poor people and those who are downtrodden. You can enter into any of these areas where you can get your satisfaction as a professional. It is important that we read around these things.
Reading.
We need to read and know what is involved in these things so that we are able to determine that per the gifts we have, we can do it.
Reverend, now let's look at our educational system. So if the guidance and counseling unit is not functional in maybe my institution, and I've gone to school, maybe I'm into communications, and I feel the only thing under communications is either I go into the print media, digital media, social media, and maybe there are other things. How you have been into teaching? I mean, you have lectured. You've in even KNUST. What is our educational system doing with regards to counseling people so that they get to know that if I'm going into science, it's not only to become a medical doctor or to become a nurse. If I'm going to home economics, it's not just becoming a caterer. Because many people feel, okay, because they don't know it. So aside reading on my own, what's the tertiary institution doing about it? Because sometimes people don't know what to do. They go into the school and they come out with the same frustration.
You see, when we went to the universities in the 70s, we didn't have counseling sections in the universities. But along the way, the need was found. And in our tertiary institutions, we have counseling departments. Now, even in the secondary schools and the GHS, there are some counseling units. The problem is we have not been giving these units the attention they deserve. Last year, I was invited to Cape Coast. The regional counseling, guidance and counseling coordinator invited me to, give some presentations to all counseling counselors in the secondary schools. Now, what I noticed was Wesley girls, they have detached counselors who are available to the students, and they do their work well. No wonder that school, the performance is very high. You see, they need tools in the counseling departments. Tools like these books, which should be able to, they are just readers, give information to the students.
Amazing how time flies. But how much does the book go for?
It's 100 CDs now.
Everything is 100.
All the books together.
The 16 the set.
Set is 100
CDs
now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And where can we get it to buy?
You can get it at a very special bookshop. Let me announce the place you can get it. Is on the net, www.booknook.store.
Okay.
www.booknook.store.
Okay.
Or www.facebook.com/BN Bookstore.
Okay.
Now, when you go to the booknook.store, you go to the education and training and teaching area. You find this book there, and then you can place the order for a full pack or an individual book. And it will be delivered to your preferred destination.
Wow.
You can also get this phone number, 00233 26 433 9066. Let me repeat that. 00233 26 433 9066 or 00233 24 789 6375. 24 789 6375.
Okay.
My number is 050 139 4513. 050 139 4513.
Okay. So, wow, amazing how time flies. Sorry, we have to go. In case you just tuned in, as the book review show right here on Precious TV, and I've looked into the Pathfinder series, a journey through careers with very Reverend Dr. Edem Tettey. Yes, and your host has been Caroline Owusu Asamoah. tune in same time next week. Next week he's coming back and we are looking into more. God willing, next week we'll take your calls. So you can visit our Facebook page, The Book Review Show GH or Precious TV, and you get all the details there. So I'm sorry, but I have to go. We love you. Bye bye.